Good evening, folks, and welcome into round number 7 of the Case King Prime series here at LFM. My name is John Wright. I'll be taking you through all of the action from my beloved Barcelona. Yep, we are off to Catalonia for this evening's round. As you can see, we've already had Monza Kailami, Imola, Suzuka, Paul Ricard and Silverstone last time out. Quite the ending to the series that we've got as well. Spa, the Nürburgring, Watkins Glen, Valencia, and then 90 minutes at Bathurst to round off the season. The drivers all looking to get their hands on the prizes up for grabs. And there they are, P3 receiving the wind bundle. It's the X1000 gaming chair for P2 in the championship, and an R300 bucket seat to adorn your rig will be available for, or will be set winging its way to P1 in the championship. We'll get a look at the very interesting standings. I mean, just as interesting, the results from last week. For some reason we're getting live footage from the track. There is the man himself, that he was on track there. It's Eric Delfant. 3 wins in a row. He wasn't here for the first 3 races, but he has seen fit to grace us with his presence at the previous 3 rounds. And he's won all 3. Not too bad. Matej Meeks and Van der Meer joining him on the podium. Lawrence Van Rossen finished in 4th, ahead of Yannick Petry making a solid appearance. Richard Seifert finished in 6th, ahead of Kaj Paw, old champion who is our current championship leader. Kieran Drescott in 8th, Romain Colbath in 9th, and Herman Meyer finishing in 10th. Nagy, Stevens, Schwartz, DeMarco and Habold all finishing 11th through 15 respectively. Finishing of note, Kuzmierzik finished in 18th place, Mario Hoffman in 20th, Jens Pluderman down in 22nd place. Also some great races. Morris Miller, who finished in 29th, and Domats Dom, who finished in 19th, both made up 20 places in the race last week. We'll see if they can repeat those heroics this week. Alex Hunter, Charlie Hall, Ignas Astrauskas and Falk Moritz all dropping over 20 places during the race. So certainly a round to forget for them. In the standings, as you can see, it is Cash Paw who is currently tenuously leading the way, ahead of Sasha Waster in 2nd, David Salinas in 3rd, Colbath in 4th. Now, interestingly, Colbath has scored points in every round so far. Salinas has only taken part in 4 races, so 2 of his drop rounds will go down as zeros. The same too with Sasha Wassner, up in 2nd place. He hasn't raced in week 1 or week 6. With Salinas, it's 5 and 6, so those two already used 2 of their drop rounds. As I say, Colbath, Van der Meer, Van Rossum and Stevens have all raced in all 6 rounds so far. Matej Meeks has raced in 5. Kieran Drescott has raced in all 6 inside the top 10, so we could see some changes up at the top when the rest of the drop rounds kicked in. And of course, Eric Delfant, 13th position overall in the standings at the moment. Didn't take part in the first 3 rounds, but has won the 3 rounds going forward from there. So 13th place, he is certainly a threat to the top 5. Cash Paw needs to keep it on the podium if Delfant is going to keep winning. So yeah, with a few rounds left to go, it's close. It is close. Let's see. The drivers should be out in qualifying very shortly. There we go. Yeah, that's them just coming to the end. of the practice session, so we'll get out and see how they do. As I say, my beloved Barcelona, built back in the early 90s. I was actually lucky enough to be across there during the Olympic Games, and they were doing construction work on the racetracks. Well, so yeah, slightly unfortunate timing really, because it was there before it was actually built. The surrounding infrastructure was in place, that's for sure, but the circuit's certainly not looking anything like it does now. Since 1991, it has seen quite a few changes. Helmet homologation playing a big part in some of the changes that we've seen over the years, but certainly turns 1 through 4 remaining largely unchanged. They are a whole lot of fun for the drivers, of course. Wurth Kampsa as well. Interesting overtaking opportunities. Like Cake said, they always like to go for it into that hairpin. So we'll see how they get on with it all this evening. And of course the final chicane, thankfully, it's still in place. Oh, there we go. Just taking a second to warm up there apparently. We'll have to get the hamsters a bit better fed apparently. See if we can't get them running a bit quicker. There he is, Eric Delphant, as I mentioned. He's won 3 in a row. So definitely a threat for another one this evening. He needs a lot of points between now and the end of the season. If he keeps winning, it certainly puts a lot of pressure on Paul and the rest of the drivers to stay ahead of him. 60 point gap between first and second, 140 point gap between first and third. So over the remaining, what will be, well, 6 rounds including tonight, 6 scoring opportunities. The difference between first and third is 600 or 700 points, 800 points. He is currently 1,300 behind Paul. If Paul finishes 4th, the gap there just on 200 points. So that quickly mounts up to 1,600, and suddenly Eric Delphant, serious contender. The drivers, as we can see, doing their usual, queuing up for track space. Ulrich van der Meer just coming through. Sector 1, it was Sebastian Picano was looking for. Yep, he's down through the middle sector. So it looks like it is going to be Picano that is going to set the first flying time. He's just coming up through Wurth. Let's take the opportunity to jump on board. Nice, fast flowing corners. Of course, the track used to go straight on there and take a cheeky right and left. No more though. One of the corners that has been changed. The aforementioned helmet homologation, heavy on the brakes. Drivers will try to overtake here. So important to keep the car balanced through and over those curves. Nice and tight on the right, and then out onto the green stuff. Heavy on the brakes. One of my favourite parts of the track. Completely disagree with anybody that dislikes it and thinks that the new layout is better. You're just wrong, I'm afraid to say. Out of the last corner, so easy to get that curve wrong on the inside. I know from personal experience. I have introduced my front fender to that wall on the right at very high pace, thanks to that curve. Sorry, no, my apologies. Thanks to my over exuberance on the loud pedal while on that curve. Not the curve's fault, it was minding its own business. Wow, and that's how he's, not minding his own business there. That was a whole lot of extra steering input there for Picano up through turns 1 and 2 there. That will be a trademark of tonight's race. We do have some times coming in. Picano did get one set of 43.5. It's very quickly been topped by a Honda shock horror. 1 minute 42.977 for Van der Meer. A variety of times coming in. And let us... variety of times coming in. Van Rossum in 3rd place. Sasha Wassner making an appearance tonight. As I say, he's already used 2 drop rounds. He is currently second in the overall standings. He's got himself onto row 2 provisionally. That's still a long time to go, Will. A long time to go. 10 minutes left on the qualifying. Matasia Meeks making an appearance up in the front 3 rows. Jay Stevens on row 4 at the moment. Muti, there goes Ferreira. The Player 1 Racing Lexus, 11th position. That was an alliteration. We also have got Rodriguez. Bador is up to 14th. Herman Meyer currently 15th with Morick in 16th. We've got 29 drivers that have set a time, the slowest at the moment. Sorry, 30 drivers, 31 drivers. Time's coming in thick and fast, as you would expect. Van der Meer is threatening to go quicker. Matasia Meeks has just gone a whole lot quicker. 1 minute 43.1 closes the gap on Van der Meer. Van der Meer not for that gap closing. He is looking to extend it. He's looking to go further into the 42s. Bit of a middle line there through reps, although might not be a bad thing. In the Honda, with its lack of traction under 50 kph. Speaking of Hondas, and speaking of Eric Delphant, which we weren't recently, we certainly were at the start of the broadcast, and he's doing championship winning potential things once again, with a provisional pole exactly a tenth quicker than Van der Meer. Now Van der Meer was threatening to go exactly a tenth quicker himself. Didn't manage to do so. Delphant has seized the moment from Kilbath in the McLaren. He's got a 1:43.1. He is threatening to go into the 42s as well. 32 degree, wow, really ride that curve through Worth. 32 degree track temperature, so a bit on the cosier side. Certainly won't be any issues getting heat of the tyres, that is for sure. Barring a quick bit of fuel. I'd imagine it'll be 2 sets of tyres and absolutely flat out on the flying laps. A lot of yellow flags coming in. That's a lot of drivers crossing the line. Jay Stevens improves his time but not his position. Mitchell Dykstra is just closing on the driver ahead. Very close. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drivers on 1 minute 43.6, and then 2 drivers on a 43.5, and then 4 drivers, sorry, on a 43.1. As Delphant goes quicker again, 1 minute 42.685. So welcome to round number 7 of the Case King Prime Series, sponsored by Eric Delphant's ridiculous pace and consistency. 42.6, wild. Van der Meer still the lead of the chasing pack, a pack which now contains 43 drivers. We've only got Max Petrenko in the BMW that hasn't set a time yet out with the 44 that have taken to the track, so it's all about improvement. And we can see a Strauskas coming in the last chicane, got a few tenths in the pocket. This could be a good 9 or 10 places here actually. Strauskas out of the last corner, good interaction with the curve, did lose a 10 through New Holland, but it's only dropped 2 positions, 28th place, up 7. Yeah, able to carry some pace there. We've got Elsa Martins in the BMW just coming into the final chicane. Another driver with a 4 tenths improvement into the final chicane. Oh, and it's just dropping on the way out there. It was at 3, it's now down to about 2 tenths. As we've seen more drivers go quicker. Martinez does go quicker, but only enough to 17th again, like a previous driver. Could have been another couple of positions there but for that final chicane. Van der Meer's in the pits and we've got 5 minutes left to go, so he's got plenty of time to get back out there. Delphant still ploughing that furrow. It looks like, yeah, the previous lap was his quickest. Right, it does look like this one has been invalidated. Let's go through the field. Paco Rodriguez, currently through New... And there we go, first driver we've seen come in to the final chicane with 4/10. Boom, holds the 4/10 on the way out, up to 19th place for Rodriguez. Solid appearance in the top 20. We've just seen a Strauskas go quicker as well. No, someone's gone quicker. Strauskas is still in the middle of that pack there. Jens Pluderman in there as well. Benjamin Muti in the Porsche. Currently running 22nd place. One of 6 drivers to have done a 1 minute 44.0. We've got 2,000 separating Hardbold and Kuzmierski. Not much more than that separating them in the championship as well. I believe we have just seen a quicker time set. It was Elsa Martins goes up to 17:43.940. Alex Hunter as well, sorry. Oh no, Hunter's was previously 43.8. So much going on and to keep track of. Let's see if Diego DeMarco can make it even more complicated. He's currently on a 43.4. He is looking to join the 5 drivers that have done a 43.1, but where in that pack is he going to, in fact, is he actually going to make it into that pack now? He's lost some time on the way in to that final chicane. The drivers are finding that tricky tonight. DeMarco goes quicker and doesn't improve on position. Wow. 1300s behind Stevens and 1500s behind Florence. Oh, it's so good to see. I know people say, oh, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing that the drivers know the track so well. It really does bring it down to the absolute finest of margins. 42.6 for pole, and then 42.6 for 14th. 43.6 for 14th. And then 42.9 for second, 43.9 20th. So if you take out first place, 19 positions separated by a second. With first place, it's 14 positions separated by a second. Although that gap might be about to increase to everyone, as Eric Delfant is once again on a purple lap. Matteo Zanella down in 13th is looking to jump up into the top 10 with a solid lap at the moment. A couple of open and good sectors. Let's see where Zanella goes. About to cross the line. Oh, 11th place. So close, so close. 11th position. Oh, and he's invalidated. Delfant's invalidated while he's looking at the tower. Oh, there we go. Max Petrenko out with the last corner. He's got a minute left to go. He's got time to get another lap in and sends himself to 15th place. A late entry into the top 20. That is how to make an announcement. Fashionably late, Max. Fashionably late. So the Heart Racing driver getting a lap in, and it is a good one. It is a good one. Eric Delfant is currently on a flying lap. This will be his last chance to increase that gap. Van der Meer is on a lap through Seat. Might just get another lap. Needs to find 0.2 of a second. Sorry, 0.3 of a second. Currently not on an improvement. Van Rossum, he was just through turn 3, so plenty of lap left for him. Max Florence as well. 10th up, 0.2 up, just coming to the end of his lap. He will have another time. He will have a chance. He will have time for another lap. My goodness me. After some of the alliterations this evening, that's the one that tripped you up. And there we go, Florence up to 5th position. He doesn't trip up on his penultimate flying lap. He will absolutely be pushing the envelope on this lap, given that he's just secured a 43, a better 43.1 to put him just behind Picano. Oh, and Delfant coming into La Cakes. That is threatening to go purple and increase his hold on pole position as... Oh, 12 seconds left to go, so Van der Meer has got another lap. So this is it for Delphant. Van der Meer does have another lap into what has so far been a very tricky final chicane for the drivers tonight in qualifying. Out of the last corner for the last time in qualifying, it is Eric Delphant. The timer has expired. Ooh, and the purple has gone for the moniker. No improvement. Van der Meer, yeah, needs a big improvement here. A lot of cars coming into pits. Emmett Brown has just jumped up to 37 from 41st. Max Florence has found a lot of time and then invalidated his lap, so he is done with qualifying. And Van der Meer, no improvement. No improvement so far in the lap, and he is running out of tarmac. His fellow Honda driving Mateusz Meeks, meaning it's currently a top 3 for Honda. Not a bad showing. Kano in the BMW, that is quite the drive. Now, but yeah, top 3 in the Honda, and it does look for all the world like Delphant is going to hold on to pole position here unless Van der Meer can pull some kind of miracle out of the last corner. He's not down on his time per se, but he's certainly not up anywhere near the 3:10s that you need. We'll see what the time is as he comes across the line. Yeah, 43.1, so 2/10 off his own time, I believe. Yes, indeed, he is the last driver to bring it across the line. I'm looking at the wrong screen. We'll get the results up in a moment or two, but yep, can confirm. It is Eric Delphant that is going to start his 4th race of the series in pole position once again. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It is quite frightening. Quite frightening. Now, let us get... pit stop set up as well, because of course haven't even mentioned, my apologies, we do have a mandatory pit stop for fuel this evening for the drivers. Fixed fueling time is 25 seconds. So they do want a fresh set of tyres. It will cost them that extra 5. Highly, highly, highly unlikely we'll see anyone take a fresh set of tyres this evening. Even at 32 degrees. That's still easy work for the drivers out there tonight. There is confirmation then. Eric Delphant taking the top spot. As I say, there's 1 second separating the top 15. Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Van der Meer in 2nd, Meeks in 3rd place. It's Waster in 4th, Picano 5th, Lawrence, Colbath, Van Rossum, Stevens and DeMarco rounding out the top 10. We'll get a look at the starting grid in about 2 minutes time actually. They are all up on... As I say, they're all starting to grid up. Again, 1 mandatory pit stop here for round number 7. Just a reminder, we've got Spa next week. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. We've got Nürburgring, Watkins Glen and Valencia before the season finale, which is, of course, the 90-minute race around Bathurst. And yeah, if last week's 90-minute at Silverstone is anything to go by, you absolutely need to make sure you're tuned in for that. And a quick reminder, it is the Wind Bundle, the X1000 gaming chair and the R300 bucket seat. All up for grabs for the drivers. And it's certainly, yeah, Eric Delphant looking to add his name into that prize list. Again, 3 wins in a row. Championship leader Kaj Paw has got a gap at the moment, but we'll see how comfortable it stays. Bear with me a moment, we can actually get the starting grid up. There we go. Oh, apologies. There we go. We're up and running. Eric Delfant taking the top spot once again. Second place, Ulrich van der Meer. 3 Hondas in the top 3. The third of those, Matejka Meeks in the top 10 in overall championship. A strong result here would hold them in very good stead. Sasha Wassner also in the top 5 in the championship, qualifying 4th here tonight in Barcelona. 5th place, Sebastian Picano, first BMW to make an appearance in the top 5. We've got another Mustang, Max Florence for LFM Esports, starting in 6th position. In 7th remain Culbath. Now he's in the McLaren 143, one of several drivers on 143.1. There is Lauren Van Rossum, another one of them. The final driver on a 43.1. He's got his Ferrari up in to 8th position. Jay Stevens in 9th in the Lamborghini, with the Ferrari of Diego De Marco starting in 10th place. 11th position, it is Matteo Zanella, in 11th place in the Ferrari. Kieran Dreyscott, another McLaren driver, he is in 12th place. 13th position, it's Donats Dom in the Ford Mustang. 14th position, Miguel Silvero. I did see cheers in the chat for him in the Lexus. 15th place, it's Elsa Martins in the BMW. 16th position in the Ferrari, Alex Hunter, Red Bull Ferrari, very nice livery, and a Ghost Recon icon there, love that. Max Petrenko made a late charge into the top 20, ended up in 17th position. 18th place, Mitchell Dijkstra. 19th position, it's Wayne Ferreira for Player One Racing in a Lexus. We've got Benjamin Muti in the Porsche once again. 1 minute 43.8, good enough for 20th place tonight. Then it's the Apex Predators leading the way in the team championship. Raphael Swartz in the McLaren, qualifying 21st tonight. 20th, sorry, Herman Mayer qualifying in 21st in his Porsche. Paco Rodriguez, 23rd place. Sorry, 22nd place, and then Yorick is in 23rd. Bit of a misalignment that we've got going on there. But yeah, Habel then in 25th. I think someone started from the pits. Kuzmierzik is starting in 26th position in his Lexus. We've then got Andras Beric in the Aston Martin. Love that livery. 28th place is John Dave. Yeah, then we've got Mario Hoffman for Colourworks in 29th position. Followed by the Apex Predators BMW, that's Jens Pluderman behind the wheel. Starting, as I say, in 30th place. A few drivers are starting from the pits by the look of it. Nicholas Bruhl in the Ferrari, starting in 31st. We're getting close to the start line. The Audi of Astrauka starting in 32nd place. 33rd is Alex Badur. And we're going to have to cut this short, unfortunately, because the drivers... And that's not so great. There we go, and we are away. And they are absolutely flying at the turn at number 1. Bandemir instantly putting Eric Delfant under all kinds of pressure as they tear their way. You can see absolute beautiful scenes of machinery there in the background. Almost 4 wide it looked like as they go 2x2 in through the first couple of corners. It looked like Delfant was going to find himself under pressure, but it's actually Sasha Wassner who's put the pressure on Van der Meer, or Van der Meer's put the pressure on himself, and Wassenaar has sailed on through and given Van der Meer a battle and given Eric Delphant a free pass to run off with it. Romain Kilbath and Sebastian Picano, it looks like they've swapped positions as well. We'll get the gains up in a moment. A couple of incidents happening at the start. Oh, we've got a couple more heading down into fourth. That is Kilbath still trying to get the overtake done on Sebastian Picano. Behind them though, all kinds of action going on. Max Florence getting himself involved. That looks like DeMarco and Donats Dom. They were going side by side up the hill. Yellow flags right through the field as track limit warnings are getting triggered left, right and centre. The in-game stewards are going to be having an absolute field day out there this evening by the look of it. Let's turn this up a bit. Oh, so close throughout the field, apart from Eric Delphant. He's double the distance that anyone else is. Oh no, sorry, Kilbath 610s as well. As you can see there, Kieran Drescott under serious pressure. Who has he got next to him? Yeah, Zanella, Dom, DeMarco, Silverio, Martins, Petrenko. All very, very, very close indeed. It looks like Jay Stevens up 3 positions, so he's had a very good start to the race. Mattheja Meeks down 4. So not the ideal start for Mattheja Meeks in his championship. Max Florence down 3. DeMarco has just lost another position. In fact, it might be another position on top of that one, as he sees Elsa Martins sail up the inside to make a net gain up to 14th place. Got the inside line heading into Repsol, and the Ferrari's hung out to dry on the outside, and it might be another BMW. Max Petrenko could find himself making a cheeky little overtake here as well, with the space that's being afforded him by the Ferrari head. He's trying to cut inside there, and that's only going to bring Mixel Dijkstra into this incredible little battle that's going on in the middle of the pack. This is for 14th position, and they're absolutely going in it, although Mattheja Meeks and Jay Stevens still very much in one another's pockets at the moment, and Van der Meer still looking to retake his second place. Sasha Wassenaar, absolute lightning off the line, finds himself up 2 places and on into second place. So a great start for him. DeMarco, they're all very close. As I say, there was a couple of incidents at the start. Let's see what we can see. So this is Dijkstra, who's on the outside in the orange and blue. Oh, just had a little bit of a tank slapper there. It was actually one of the cars ahead of him that had a bit of a moment. Oh yeah, okay, so concertina effect. Strangely, it would have been the car in the middle that would have got the worst of that. We also had Andras Berek in the Aston Martin. This is coming into Le Cake, so you can see all kinds of chopping and changing going on in the background. Let's go 3 wide in the Ferrari and the Lexus. He makes it round. Oh, so there's 2 Porsches ran wide on the way up Le Cake. Oh, and it's a touch on the front quarter panel from a passing Lexus that sends him round the wrong way. We also had an incident with Diego DeMarco. I think we might have actually caught this in the background. But this is into the final chicane. A bit of door on there. Oh, and the Mustangs come right over to defend the position. Not a lot of room on the inside. Oh, he ends up having a wiggle, sending the BMW off, who recovers very nicely indeed. There has been more going on as well. This one is Van Murik. His Honda not having as good a start as, there we go, teleportation. So I'm not sure if there is an incident here or whether it was just, ooh, yeah, he took a tap in the rear, he tried to send it around the outside and then took a tap on the nose, as you do. So yeah, a couple of minor incidents, but we did have a drive-through as well. Willy Habold has picked himself up an early drive-through, finds himself down in 44th place. Up at the front of the field, Eric Delphant completely unperturbed with anything that is going on around him. He is a second and a half ahead, and he has got a fairly clear rear wing. He's certainly not giving away any slipstream around here, that's for sure. Wassner still in second, Van der Meer in third, Picano in fourth, Kilbath still in fifth, ahead of Stevens and Matija Meeks. Matija Meeks, though, under increasing pressure from Lauren Van Rossum, Max Florence, Matteo Zanella and Kieran Dreyscott not too far behind themselves. Dreyscott, Zanella, no strangers to overtakes so far. Van Rossum running where he started in 8th. Meeks ahead of him is down 4 spots. Florence down 3. That was a 3. There is Diego DeMarco. He is dropped from 10th. 10th position down to 15th place. So it has been a difficult start. Let's make sure we get the penalties up on this. Again, I say apologies, I did see in the chat. Lexus and Silverio says Adthorpe. Welcome into everyone that is on YouTube and on Twitch. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the likes and subscribes, we hugely appreciate them and hope you enjoy the racing as much as we love bringing it to you, because it is incredible. So close at the minute. Alex Hunter down 6 places along with Ferreira and Muti. So between the 3 of them, that's 14 places lost. And they find themselves just on the back of Herman Mayer. Just ahead of them, Van Murek's made up 4. And so too is Paco Rodriguez is making his way into turn number 1. He's into the top 20. And he is the hunter, with the prey being the Apex Predators, although it looks more like Van Murek might be the hunter there. No, he is now the hunted, because here comes Alex Hunter in the Ferrari, watching Herman Mayer in the Porsche send one up the inside. These two almost going to touch. The Honda runs very, very wide indeed, and there is Alex Hunter picking off the position as predicted. Down into Seat though, this one could get a bit spicy. The Honda's got the line back on the inside. That is Ferreira and the Lexus now lurking as well. So this is some close spicy stuff up through Vuort. Hunter finds himself on the prime line. Oh, and the Honda there of Van Murek just couldn't find any grip. He was off the racing line, and even at 30-degree track temperature couldn't find the grip to keep up, and that has thrown him firmly into the mix. Jens Pluderman of the Apex Predators sends one up the inside into Lekeksa. He makes that stick on the Porsche. Very nice move indeed to put himself on the back of Van Murek. We've still got ridiculously close between Hunter and Ferreira, and just ahead of him, in fact, Van Rossum and Meeks. It's all going off here. Max Florence is behind watching this one. Jay Stevens in the Lamborghini is involved. Let's go on the helicam and see how this one. Oh, Jay Stevens takes a tap with Van Rossum. They're both going to lose momentum, and that's surely going to lose them both positions there. Max Florence will need no second invitation if the two drivers ahead decide to get a bit too keen on swapping wing mirrors before the checkered flag. Often better to swap shirts after the final whistle. Drivers in Florence. Yeah, okay. He's not only destroyed the gap, he's got the overtake underway. He is certainly giving the Lamborghini a whole lot of problems here, keeping him off the driving line. Down through Say, up through Worth the Go. It is one by one. Meeks, Van Rossum, Stevens and Florence. And on to the back straight we go, and Florence gets a very, very, very good exit. Is he going to send one up the inside into Lekeksa? Of course he is. Can he get it stopped and rotated? He's left more than enough room, in fact too much room by the Lambo. He's gone off the track, he's ended up the other side of the yellow sausage curb, and that has put Florence up to 8th position, ahead now of Jay Stevens. Sebastian Picaro just up the road. He's looking to get himself up to 4th place. He is putting in some good laps, certainly quicker than Colbath at the moment, and that is reflected in how much space is between them. Into turn number 1. Is he going to have a look at this here? Maybe a little bit far back would cost the two of them yet a whole lot of time. He is indeed too far back. Let's see what Paco Rodriguez can do. As I say, he's already up 6 positions. It's McLaren v McLaren. The Apex Predator goes to the inside line. We've got a Porsche closing the distance there as well. He tries to hang it around the outside to take the inside line through turn number 2. He almost makes it stick, but I'll tell you what, it could be Herman Mayer that finds himself making a stick. He's got that Porsche right on the back of this duo of McLarens, and overtakes will be taking place here very shortly. It's definitely a when rather than if type situation. It's just who is the big question, because I tell you what, Rodriguez is looking very good indeed. Moonblack Racing top 3 in the team standings, so we'll be looking to bring home some more team points tonight. 6 places up on where he started, and right in the thick of things in the middle of the pack we've got DeMarco and Martins. Martins up 3 spots, DeMarco down 3 spots. So DeMarco on a bit of a recovery drive after a tough start to the race, and Elsa Martins is the next target. The next target for an overtake in the final chicane, getting it very close, absolutely nose to tail between the two of them on the way in. Martins certainly using the more liberal line of that yellow curbing on the way towards the New Holland exit. Doesn't seem to have been too detrimental, but that Ferrari of DeMarco is looking very quick in the slipstream, so a good exit, not going to be close enough. No, pulls out of the slipstream to signal a potential overtake, but yeah, I would say more to actually get some air running over the car to make the brakes a bit more effective. Picano still within 2/10. Still got Kilbath firmly in his sights, and of course Vandermeer as well, not too far up the road from this battle here. So Picano could look to get something done before the pit stops. Down the field we've still got DeMarco looking for that overtake on Martins. We've also got Rodriguez still on his incredible start, but it has been slowed ever so slightly. Rafael Schwartz up 5 places himself, so no slouch around here either. We'll see which one of the two of them come out on top. They've got Petrenko ahead of them in 15th. Oh, and that is very close indeed. Much later on the brakes for Rodriguez, and he made that corner very easily indeed. So same car, but could be running a completely different wing setup to the car ahead of him, giving him later use of the brakes, but that would of course mean that Schwartz ahead of him is running at much lower wings, so a much higher, much less downforce, and out in the last corner. That is absolutely bumper to bumper. That was bump drafting through the corner there as Rodriguez and now finds himself invited to take the outside line into turn number 1, which he does. Here comes Ferreira as well, and it is Rodriguez that gets it around the outside. No, the Apex Predator just cuts his nose off on the way in to turn number 1. And Rodriguez almost all at sea, and it is now a very different complexion that we find ourselves in with Herman Mayer now very, very, very close indeed to Schwartz. He's only 8/10 behind, and Schwartz is 4 places ahead of him, and we can see in the rear view mirror that is Benjamin Muti, and there's more drivers very close behind there as well. Jay Stevens is got him. No, we're running. Yeah, no, we are running. So, sorry, where was I? Picano. Still all over Kilbath, not able to get the overtake done there. Jay Stevens is keeping Max Florence very busy still as well. So too DeMarco and Martins. Martin's still hanging on. We're 15 minutes in, so we've got 4 minutes until the pit window opens. One mandatory stop for fuel. With a fixed fueling time of 25 seconds, no matter how much fuel you take on. So we'll see when we start having drivers come in. Only one driver been in for a drive-through so far, Billy Habold. Oh, and he's very nicely done on the brakes. I'll tell you what, Ferreira... I was looking at the towers there, but Ferreira getting a very nice move done on Rodriguez. So Swartz has now got Alexis chasing him down as Ferreira takes advantage of the battling duo ahead of him to find himself taking him. Cheeky little position, Herman Mayer in 20th. John Dave, Jens Pluderman and Van Maurik all closing in on this one as well. Jens Pluderman up 8 places to 22nd. John Dave up 7 places to 21st. So some big improvements in and around the field. Oh, and that is a spin. It's Herman Mayer, car number 29. Oh, and that's a lot of damage. So this is up through Vuerth. Oh, he's just lost on the curbs. And had a spin, so thankfully no damage. But yeah, that is what's happened there. And Mayer now finds himself down in 42nd place. That is heartbreakingly cruel. Oh, and Berwick. Berwick has just had an incident, the number 34. It looks like he's had a couple of incidents. Yeah, I think he's carrying a bit of damage. So, into the final chicane. Oh, just has a bounce on the sausage curb and ends up facing the wrong way in the pit lane. Nice recovery though. To get himself back going again. Shutenko in the Porsche trying to go past Dumbai and Veiling. Sorry, drivers that we didn't get a chance to mention at the start. Couldn't quite get through everyone before the drivers finished their warm-up lap. Let's see what we're looking at as far as battles go. It's still DeMarco trying to get past Martins. Picano still not able to find the way past Kilbath, but they are closing the gap on Van der Meer. So Van der Meer in third. Still only, or now only a second ahead of these two. Oh, Kilbath and Picano temporarily swapping positions on the start-finish straight. Let's see. Oh, Picano, has he got it done this time? He is later on the brakes. He's gone full send up the inside and through Elf. Picano, after several laps of patience. Oh, and he's in a bit of a tank slapper, and the McLarens had to slow up to avoid contact there. Kilbath will be cursing his luck. And Picano will be thanking his lucky stars. Oh, Martins is off course. Oh, and Max Petrenko has ended up off course as well. Let's see, Martin's 23. Oh no, 2 accidents. So yeah, Martin's of course in the battle with the Ferrari. Oh, this might be a clumsy entry into turn number 1. Oh, the Ferrari from way downtown tries to back out of it and ends up collecting the back of the BMW. And then we had Petrenko. Now I think, yeah, Petrenko's come into turn number 1 as that was all going on. Oh no! Oh, just loses on the exit to 2. Yeah, that is an unfortunate one. More overtakes going on down through the field. What is this now? Pluderman, yeah, ploughing his way through the field. Someone else has just had a bit of an incident. It's Rodriguez. Rodriguez involved in another incident for car number 26. So into the cakes, battling once again with the Apex Predators car. Oh, yeah, took a bit of contact from the Ferrari. They all bunched up there and ended up, yeah, didn't want to lose control of the car. And frustrated, pulls over to the side of the course. While all that's been going on, the pit window has opened and it is still going on in the middle of the park. All this has done is bring everyone even closer together. Jens Pluderman, Kuzmierzik, sorry, we've got Muti, we've got Dom, Van Murik, Mario Hoffman, we can see there. Just on the back of this little group, Donats Dom down 7 positions, Jens Pluderman up 13 places as we stand. It is absolutely wild. And yeah, Delphant blissfully unaware, 6.5 seconds up the road. Let's see what Pluderman is saying to it at the moment. Still very close there, Hoffman as well. Not far behind. No penalty sheet, and there's I'm not seeing any pop on the screen, so we'll see. Oh, we've got another yellow flag, another incident involving someone. Yeah, Barcelona, it can bite hard when it wants to. That's Mario Hoffman that we're on board with, Jens Pluderman just ahead, still looking for another overtake. John Dave running it a bit deep through Repsol. The Apex Predator BMW getting a very good line. Bear with me a moment, folks. And we'll run you down through the order. I'll be back in a moment. Hello again, apologies, we are back. It's round number 7 in the Case King Prime Series, brought to you by LFM. We're here at Barcelona and we're starting to see drivers in the top 10 come into the pits. Van der Meer is in, and in fact we're seeing a whole raft of drivers actually have already been in. Willie Habold has been in for a drive-through. Miguel Silveiro though has completed his mandatory stop, currently running in 35th position. Donat Doms, who we were on board with, has come in to the pits. Van der Meer will be ready to move very shortly. Eric Delfant has been moving very quickly indeed, while the rest of the field are fighting over the scraps of the top table. Delfant is increasing that gap ever more. 8 seconds is now the gap. Sasha Waster, the driver, in second place, and certainly Picano absolutely not giving up the hunt after a very patient battle with Kilbath. Picano now running in third place and is closing in on Waster, who... Oh no, I thought Waster had come in. Yes, he has. Waster's coming at the pits. So Waster's coming at the pits 2 minutes before the halfway mark. We'll see if Picano answers on the next lap. Max Florence has come into the pits as well. Jay Stevens, there he is, has stayed out. Van der Meer, unsurprisingly, now the lead car to have taken his pit stop. He's in 32nd place. Silverio out in 33rd. And yeah, considerable margin back, so we'll see. Sorry, all shuffling and changing. We'll get Sasha Waster eventually. I'm trying to get there, we go. And he's stationary, of course he is. He's just about to move though, of course. Yep, there we go. So the two LFM drivers both coming in, one passes the other. And where is Van der Meer coming out of the last corner? So yep, Waster getting that one done. Oh, although he's got some traffic, that's Habold in the BMW that's pulled up right behind him. Kozubek as well. Nicely done. He's got out just ahead of them. Absolutely ideal. It hasn't changed tyres, but of course they do cool down a bit, being stationary for so long. And 29 degrees the track is down, so it's only down a degree, so temperature wise holding that PSI shouldn't be too tricky. And yeah, Van der Meer, so Waster back out. We've got no... Oh no, we do. Kilbath has come in, and so too is Jay Stevens. So another two have come in. Picano has stayed up. So Picano enjoying his pace out there at the moment. Got himself to within 1 second of second place. And then... and stayed out when second came into the pits. Elsa Martins coming into the pits. Mitchell Dykes are coming in. Kilbath and Stevens were already mentioned, and there's Benjamin Muti and Joey Van Murek coming into the pits as well. Absolutely nose to tail. Yes, they even do race through the pits. Emmett Brown pulls his McLaren into the pits, so too does Igor Shevchenko, or his Porsche, sorry, he's not in a McLaren. And further up the field, they are all currently staying out. John Dave looking to get an overtake done on Jens Pluderman if possible, and Nicholas Bruel still all over the back of a Strauskis. Strauskis not long getting the overtake done. Been a good drive for both of them, all things considered. Quite a few drivers in the pits, so their 18th position gain will be ironed out ever so slightly. Sasha Waster got himself, yeah, nice bit of clear air to keep running. John Dave, not so much clear air for him. We've got blue flags And he has got an Apex Predator just ahead of him, holding the position he is after. Lucky number 7. Oh, more of the podium come in. That's Sebastian Picano. Matej Meeks and Lauren Van Rossum coming in as well. Delphant staying out. That's going to be a lap, at least 2 laps beyond the halfway mark for Delphant. 8 seconds ahead of Wassner he was, but the important one at the moment is surely going to be Sebastian Picano. He was a second behind Wassner when Wassner came in. He did look to be the quicker of the two as well. Well, the gap was going in his favour, so yeah, I think it's safe to say in his favour. So here comes Wassner in the final chicane. Picano is stationary. He is still stationary. Sasha Wassner is going to be going at some pace. Where is Wassner gone? Oh, there he is. He's coming shooting through. And yeah, absolutely flies past. Picano comes out at the pit lane, and I would say that gap has increased. It certainly has. That is now over 2 seconds. Apologies we couldn't get the dramatic shots of Sasha Wassner in the third sector there. He tore through with everyone being in the pits, but yeah, Picano, that gap now 2.3 seconds, so it has increased. So yeah, definitely job 1 done for Wassner. Eric Delphant, job 1 and 2 done, and 3 in fact. He took pole position, he's got to the pits got to the pit stops in first place, and he's got the fastest lap of the race so far with a 43.4. Ferreira may take a lead lap if he stays out. Pluderman as well, currently up in third. It might come at the pit, so let's see what Ferreira does. Ferreira stays out, and yeah, Wayne Ferreira will temporarily take the lead of the race. Yes, Pluderman has stayed out as well. Sven Dreyer comes into the pits. Straukas stays out, so important for Delphant. Where is he going to come out? There's going to be traffic ahead of him. Broyle just coming past the pit exit. There is Delphant. Dreyer coming in. Sasha Wassner around the last corner. Delphant has been released as Patrick Veiling goes past. So 6 cars ahead of Delphant. The one behind him though, Sasha Wassner. Unless my eyes deceive me, he's closed that gap by 3 seconds. It's now set at 5.2. We'll keep an eye on it for the moment and see what it irons out to. But yeah, it's set at 5.2, so the gap is down between the top 2 in the race. Has Wassner found the chink in Delphant's armour? Is he going to stop him from hitting 4 race wins in a row? That'll be some feat, and it really will give the championship front-runners a pause for thought. Wayne Ferreira, Pluderman, Strauskis, Breuel, Borger and Veiling all still to take their pit stop. They've got 5 minutes left to do so. Zanella still with a pit stop as well, down in 17th place in the Ferrari. Oh, Sven Dreyer facing the wrong way. And actually a couple of yellow flags for Dreyer, of course the first one. Unless there is something happens on the pit exit here. Oh yeah, the colour was Porsche. And then, to add insult to injury, spins the car on the exit. So even at this late stage, the driver's still struggling to get to grips with the course. Oh, and that is a run wide there by Benjamin Muti. Can't afford to do that too often. That'll be a slap on the wrists. As another gaggle of cars come in to the pits. That is Broyle, Strauskis, Ferreira, Pluderman and Veiling have all come in. That means that Yitzin Borger Started in 35th place and now having some laps in the lead. It'll be 2 laps maximum. That pit stop will drop him down the order a fair bit. We'll see where he does come back out, but Delphant keeping the gap at Waster keeping the gap at 5.3 seconds. Picano in provisional 3rd, Kulbath in 4th, Van der Meer in 5th position with Meeks in 6th, Van Rossum 7th, Jay Stevens in 8th, Florence and Silverio 9th and 10th. Well, we'll stay on board for the moment, certainly, with Jay Stevens. He is hunting down Lauren Van Rossum. As I say, at the moment they are provisional 7th and 8th, with Borger still to take that pit stop. Oh, Schwartz and Muti still battling with Dave. That might be an interesting one to watch as well, because Mirzik not too far behind, so we'll need to watch what they're doing. Through with a bit of a wiggle by the Ferrari, needs to be careful with that. And Schwartz picking up a good exit. Jay Stevens has dropped off a bit. Zanella and Silverio, they're battling away as well. Oh, and after the pit stops, it's coming back together for quite a few of the drivers. 2 minutes left of the pit window with only 2 drivers left to take a pit stop. We've still got 42 drivers in the race, and I think there was some big penalties picked up. I can't see the penalty sheet unfortunately, but Kieran Dreyscott goes past Shatenko, but was stationary for 60 seconds on his pit stop. That would indicate a 25-30 second penalty, hence why Dreyscott down 24 positions. Elsa Martins, stationary. Martins, who was up in the top 20 at one point. Completely stationary in the last chicane. Does seem to be going a bit slowly there. That looks to me like some kind of technical failure. Oh no. Well, actually, yeah, that does look even more like a technical failure. So Martins, trying to get going again, but not able to. Wow, so late drama down at the back of the grid. Some of the drivers track for some very good results, having some very bad luck in the closing stages. And we've got more going on here. Schwartz right on the back of John Dave, really pushing to get this overtake done and get another position as the Porsche full send up the inside from way downtown there. Benjamin Muti, absolute full commitment. I would say maybe a bit far back to try that, but no contact made, all survived. Mitchell Dijkstra out with the last corner over DeMarco. Oh, and they're going to go side by side in turn number 1. Mitchell Dijkstra got a very good run out at the last turn. Can he hang it around the outside and keep that middle apex? He certainly can. And through turn number 2, he's got his nose in front. Well, here comes the Ferrari straight back at him, gets the car back in front. But Dijkstra's got a lot more grip on the outside line. Oh, but he's run too far on the outside line. He's either going to have needed to lift there or pick up a penalty. And yep, he's backing right out with that one. That is the pit window closed. Confirmed, and it's Delphant who is back into the lead of the race, and he is back to his old ways of increasing the gap. Wassner now 6.7 seconds behind Picano in 3rd place, and he's 1.8 seconds behind, so he has closed the gap ever so slightly. Dijkstra and DeMarco running very close to one another. Benjamin Muti still on the back of Schwartz. Schwartz has just relinquished some grip over John Dave ahead of him there. And it is now the Porsche. Unfortunately, we can't see the rear mirror from this camera. that one. So let's go back there. Yeah, Benjamin Muti looking very racy as well, has to be said. Some more action going on just down inside, just inside the top 30. Sven Dreyer up 7 positions on where he started, up to 19th place. Sorry, up to 29th. Having started in 36th. Dre Scott still on a comeback drive. Willie Habold as well after that late drive-through. Elsa Martins, it looks like, is retired. Nicholas Broyle down 8 spots as well. The biggest gain of the evening, Jens Pluderman. 15 places so far to get up to 15th position. And may even take another spot when... oh no, Zanella didn't take a pit stop, neither did Borger, unless my telemetry is glitched. Zanella, let me just check, my apologies, 11th place, Zanella. Yeah, has had a pit stop, 32.8 seconds stationary. Yeah, but not fully updated on the board there. So yeah, no. Pluderman not going to be getting a free space, a free position when someone comes into the pits, because everyone has indeed taken a pit stop despite what it says on screen there. Looking for the closest battles again. Benjamin Muti on Raphael Swartz, certainly close, and Anders Berek, Sven Dreyer and Patrick Veiling. Another one that is very close, I believe we do, yes, we do get a good rear view mirror on board the Aston Martin. What an engine sound that is as well. So Aston v Aston at the moment for 28th place, Patrick Veiling trying to keep himself involved in this battle as well as to head along the start-finish line. For start-finish straight to complete 24 laps. Oh, he's a bit later on the brakes here and he's ended up running a bit deep. Having to steer while he was braking certainly wouldn't have helped, but took himself some serious avoiding action there. And Patrick Veiling had a bit of a run off track as well on the way through turn number 2. So, yeah, keeping it absolutely on the line. Lopez and Chilodi. Down through turn number 5, sorry, back of the field, it's getting a bit interesting again, as Zanella with Silverio looking to swap places, or certainly Zanella will be, to get into the top 10 at Silverio's expense. Zanella back out where he started, and Silverio up 4 places, so absolutely solid performance. That is glitching a bit close. Did look like that was changing there. Delphant, what's the gap that he's got now? Yes, back to 8 seconds. Back to Sasha Wasner in 2nd place. Meccano with a blue flag to go past. He is trying his best to catch Sasha. He's got Wasner now 2 seconds ahead of him. And he showed at the end of the first stint that he was able to close in. They're going to have very similar tyre wear. Meccano came out to slightly cooler temperatures. Not sure if that had been a benefit or not, trying to get the tyres back up, but it is only 1 degree change, so yeah, nominal I would say. Absolutely throwing the car over these curbs. Now trying to close up the Wasner, but it doesn't look like he's done the job yet. Not still sitting at 2 seconds there. Still sitting at 4/10 of a second between Zanella and Silverio, with Dijkstra and DeMarco. A similar gap separating them. I seem to have frozen that there. And Muti, Kuzmierzik and Schwartz. Now here we go, Kuzmierzik. It does like to pull a good result. Could be on for another one here at the expense of at least one of the drivers ahead of him. Schwartz and Muti are the two. They're battling away, and he's got Donats Dom joining in as well. Dom with a good result last week. And some good points scoring when he is here. Could be on for another one. Inside the top 20 is his aim at the moment. Oh, it's hard to judge which one to watch. Zanella and Silverio are close. Very close indeed down through turn at number 5. So too though. Yeah, Dijkstra and Ferreira in the orange. Oh, and he's just on the wiggle. Sorry, that's Dijkstra in the orange line. McLaren has just had the wiggle there. And in fact, it might be Ferreira that closes up if he keeps that up. Trying to get his way past DeMarco. No joy at the moment. DeMarco down 2 spots. Dijkstra up 5. So yeah, quite a battle between those two for position at the moment. Waster in 2nd still, Picano in 3rd, and Eric Delfant with only 12 minutes left to go around number 7 of the Case King Prime Series is running away with it even faster now. 9.4 seconds is the gap. And he has set the fastest lap of the race, which would have got him 3rd in qualifying. Wow. And it would have been close as well. He's very close to getting 2nd. 42.977 for Delfant. So a very good day at the office for him. Maximum points haul once again. Pole position, fastest lap. And the lights to flag win. Jay Stevens still looking to get past Van. Oh, sorry, he's closed up on Van Rossum. So he's got 10 minutes left to work his magic. Zanella closing in on Silverio. Donats Dom right on the back of Benjamin Muti, not giving him any room to breathe whatsoever. Kuzmierzik now 2 seconds down on this group. Quite a few scrapes on the cars that we're seeing on screen. They've been in the wars here today in Barcelona. Donats Dom though still looking to fight on. He's got Benjamin Muti. Oh, is that a couple of more places swapping? Oh, Hoffman. It looks like he's had a big hit there. Yeah, so involved in a big battle going into turn number 1. Oh, and he's done the same thing. He's made contact with Aston Martin on the way to turn number 1. And all it's done is send him bouncing over the curbs at the side, and it's, yeah, it just the back end goes. There's no getting over that. Although Dreyer that made contact with him is behind him, so he's redressed the position, which you do like to see. Of course, Alex Hunter with Forenk Nagy and Ignace Strauskas. Strauskas, yeah, up 6 positions. So a good drive by Strauskas this week. Looking to improve on that further in the last couple of minutes. 9 left to go. Let's see if this one comes on out with the chicane, although Jay Stevens right on the back of Van Rossum still, and Dijkstra and DeMarco. Those two still inseparable as well. Nothing at the last corner there. Where is Dijkstra? Yep, and they are interacting with some traffic as well. Just to make it that bit more spicy, why not? That's Dijkstra going on board with Jay Stevens on Van Rossum. Lambo v Ferrari. I am definitely slightly biased in this little battle. Apologies to T. Stevens, but he is, yeah, he is looking quick. Of course, he started in 9th, so he has gained a spot in the race so far. But that was another one, tantalisingly close. Ooh, Ferreira, I did mention him in the Lexus. Let's jump on board there. Yeah, he's absolutely got the bit between his teeth. Going to be a maximum of 5 laps left to go for them. Let's see where Delphant is. He's through turn number 5 with 8 to go. So yeah, about 4 laps left, 29 already completed. And still battles being played out. And Picaro, actually, since we last looked in, he's taken about half a second out of Waster's lead. That's now sitting at a fairly constant at 1.5 seconds. It will certainly be quite the finish if he manages to close in and get himself into a battle with Waster. Matija Meeks all over the back of Ulrich van der Meer. The two Honda drivers both losing 3 positions, and they find themselves battling away. They started 2nd and 3rd respectively. Now find themselves scrapping over 5th place. And I think, well, now they do have Kilbath that's in sight. Yeah, there's Kilbath there. So an interesting one for Meeks and van der Meer. Ideally, they'd be wanting to work together here to try and catch up to Kilbath and throw the chips. Fancy your chances in a 3-way fight rather than a 2-way duel. Really using the full width of the track there was Matija Meeks. He has managed to keep it very nice work on the accelerator through turn number 2. Keeps it absolutely pinned onto the rear spoiler. Van der Meer ahead of him. Kilbath only 1.2 seconds ahead. Pocano is still well within 2 seconds of Waster as well. So the drivers at the top still need to be absolutely on their toes. With 6 minutes left to go. 6 minutes left to go. Wild. Delphant has not looked back. The only point in the race he didn't lead was when drivers ahead still had to pit. He was the net leader at that point. He came back out. Did lose 3 seconds through the pit stops, but he is very quickly more than gained them back, and has now got an 11.7 second gap back to Waster. Absolutely wild. Waster's, as I say, maintaining that 2 second gap to Picano. We're going to jump back on board with Stevens. Oh, flashing lights there for Van Rossum, so I think he might have a blue flag ahead of him. Yeah, he's got a Porsche, still a bit up the road though. So should be fine. Zanella and Silverio, all the action right the way down to the end of the race. The drivers are going to keep my mouse hand very firmly in action. Oh, as there we go, Dijkstra makes a mistake through the cakes. He's going to let Ferreira go round the outside up the hill. He's going to have a lot more grip on the outside part of the track, but it is the McLaren that's managed to sneak his way or hold on to that one. And not only that, bring DeMarco right into the hunt. Could it be DeMarco? No, along the start finish straight. You would think the big slipstream advantage here is going to be with Ferreira in the Lexus. He's got the McLaren ahead of him. Yeah, the Ferrari just absolutely nowhere. As we saw Paul Ricard a few weeks ago. Just really doesn't do well in the slipstream against some of these big monsters. And speaking of big monsters, here comes the Lexus. Tries to go round the outside, bit of door banging on the way through on the curb at turn number 2. And it is chopping and changing, but it's Dijkstra that holds on to the position. While DeMarco holds right on to the back of the two of them. Yeah, DeMarco definitely the better position out of the 3 at the moment. He can pick his battles wisely while the 2 ahead duel it out. McLaren doing a phenomenal job fending them off at the moment. We've got more going on in the top 10 as Van der Meer and Matej Meeks have indeed caught up to Romain Kilbath. So it's going to be McLaren v 2 Hondas for 4th position. With 3 Hondas in the top 3, it's now Honda, Honda, Mustang, then BMW, or Ford I should say, instead of the Mustang obviously, because it is the Mustang. Matej Meeks, Ulrich Van der Meer, dropping out to 7/10s, trying to keep an eye on where everything's going on. Ferreira and Dijkstra still very close. Patrick Velen and Sven de Beer, these two still dealing away. Jitsen Borger came back out the pits in 23rd place, so that's not bad, making up 12 positions. Some really incredible gains by some of the drivers tonight. Alex Hunter looking to gain back some of the positions that he's lost so far. Got Nagy ahead of him, but that Aston should be able to keep him behind. Shutenko as well, all over the back of Lopez. Oh, and we have lost 2 drivers in the closing stages, so we're down to a 40 car grid. Oh, Dijkstra finding himself massively offline, and Ferreira had his nose in front temporarily. It's now swapped back round again, and is this the moment that DeMarco manages to get the spot? No, it is not. Very close indeed. It is on an absolute knife edge between these 3, and it is as well between these 3 here. This is a 3-way battle for 4th position into the final chicane after 32 laps completed. It looks like it's going to be this and maybe one more. Where is... oh, now that is actually going to be quite close. I think Delphant can actually slow down out of the last corner here and make this the last lap if he wants. He'll probably go for the fastest lap again. The temperature is down to 27 degrees, so we're down 3 on where it started. Oh, and he's got a battle going on ahead of him. That is going to slow. That might actually slow him down enough for this to be the last lap. Oh, there we go. Aston very nicely out the way. Just got Willy Habold now in the BMW to make his way past. Oh, Ferreira and Dijkstra is still very close. So is Matej Meeks. As we can see there, they're still right on top of one another. Van der Meer is now, yeah, he's still 7/10, and they've got some traffic to get through as well. So this could make it extra interesting. There is Delphant into the final chicane. Yes, so he is going to get another lap. It's going to be very close indeed. But Delphant is going to complete 35 laps for tonight's race. He's going to complete this one with 10 seconds left to go, and there's confirmation he is on the final lap. Van Rossum a bit far behind. He's got Jay Stevens chasing him. It's Van der Meer and Meeks that I was looking for, and they're starting to separate out a bit as well, in fact. So yeah, a bit of separation there. The tyre wear really starting to kick in for the drivers. No overtaking opportunities presented themselves in that group. So no positions changed. John Daves still holding off Schwartz and Donat's Don as well, although Dom thinking about it on the way into the Lakesa. The Apex Predators are closing the line off. He takes the inside line himself, and Dom, he is going to be very close indeed. Oh, this is going to be interesting out with the last corner. Dom is in 18th. Let's see where a race leader is yet. He's a few corners behind, so we'll jump back on with Donat's Dom and see what happens out the last corner. They've got a Ferrari leading the way there. We've seen that doesn't do well in the slipstream. Never mind when it's giving away the slipstream, although fires out at the final corner. Donat's Dom then all over the back of the Apex Predator as we come across the start-finish line for the final time for, or the penultimate time for these two drivers. Oh, trying to squeeze the McLaren over onto the inside. He swings wide to try and get enough cornering pace, and he does manage to do so, and it's Danas Dom that gets the overtake done right at the start of the final lap to get himself up to 17th position. But it is a final lap that is already being finished by Eric Delfant. 4 in a row. Not too bad at all. Out the 7 races, he's raced in 4 and he has won all 4. He will be followed home by Sasha Wassner in 2nd place. A great drive by Sasha to get himself up 2 positions and onto the podium and fend off the advances of Sebastian Picano, who made a great race himself. There's Gilbath, Meeks, Van der Meer, Van Rossum and Stevens crossing the line. Max Florence taking the checkered flag as well through the final chicane. Silverio and Zanella still battling away. It is Lexus versus Ferrari, and yep, as we would expect on a high-speed circuit, it's the Lexus that comes out on top. Zanella in 11th, Ferreira in 12th place, Dykstra in 13th, DeMarco looking to cross the line in 15th position. That is Mitchell Dykstra. The orange line livery, the driver's weaving across. That's Ferreira, of course, in the Lexus taking the checkered flag. The drivers all pulling at the pits. Drivers further down the field have already been given the final checkered flag. Yitzin Borger trying to get past Badur there in the final chicane. Didn't quite manage to make that one stick, so Badur will hold on to 22nd place. Borger in 23rd. Nagy has got Alex Hunter and Ignatius Strauskas very close indeed out of the last corner, but will hold on in his Aston at 24th, Hunter in 25th, and Strauskas in 26th position. Kieran Drescott, tough day at the office for Kieran, down 15 positions to cross the line in 27th place. Whoa, there we go, another absolute cracker. Let's just grab this, and this. And in fact, we will see if anyone jumps in for it. As I say, we'll get the confirmed results up in a moment, but the Eric Delfant show rolls onwards and upwards. That is a 4th win in a row. Wassner in 2nd place. Picano finishing in 3rd. In fact, I think we should have... no, not quite. Yeah, but as I say, we will get the full results up on the screen in a moment, but it was another masterclass by Delfant. Meeks and Van der Meer 5th and 6th, Van Rossum, Stevens, Florence and Silverio, as we saw rounding out the top 10. Zanella, Ferreira, Dykstra, DeMarco and Pluderman 11th through 15th. Kuzmierzik down in 20th place. And Kieran Drescott down in 27th. So that is definitely going to be detrimental to their respective championship charges. And there we have confirmed results. Delfant, Wassner and Picano, Colbath, Meeks, Van der Meer, Van Rossum, Jay Stevens, Max Florence and Miguel Silverio making up the top 10. Zanella, Ferreira, Dykstra, DeMarco and Pluderman all inside the top 15. 15 place improvement for Jens Pluderman. Donats Dom down 3 but still finished in 16th ahead of John Dave, Raphael Schwartz, Benjamin Muti and Mikhail Kuzmierzik. Rounding out the top 20, Van Murik and Badur 21st and 22nd, with Borger, Nagy and Hunter rounding out the top 25. We did actually have 44 drivers start the race. Martins, Petrenko, Rodriguez and Mayer all out of the race on or around 2/3 of the way through, 26 laps in. It doesn't look like anyone is joining us in the interview box this evening. Thank you to everyone that has tuned into the series so far. Of course, it is the CaseKing.de Prime Series. That means that Barcelona now joins Monza, Kyalami, Imola, Suzuka, Paul Ricard and Silverstone in the rear view mirror. We turn our gaze to Belgium. It is Spa, 60 minutes there next week, the mandatory pit stop. Of course, once again, Nürburgring, Watkins Glen, Valencia, and the 90-minute season finale, none other than Bathurst. And all up for grabs for the drivers. The P3 will receive the Wind Bundle, the X1000 gaming chair, up for grabs for P2, and the R300 bucket seat will be winging its way to our series winner. Huge thanks to CaseKing.de for putting on the prizes and sponsoring the series. I'm not sure we will have the updated championship standings. Bear with me a moment. Let me just have a look and see. But yeah, I think the it may change up at the top. Kajpo, of course, not here this evening. Sasha Wassner finishing in second. So he may well take the lead. He's used 2 of his 3 drop rounds already. But it should only still be 2 drop rounds that are counted next week. The 3rd drop round won't be counted until the final round has taken place. So yeah, he's still got a bit of leeway at the moment. And there we go. Yes, so it has changed hands. So there's confirmation then. Sasha Wassner is our new championship leader by 64 points. Kajpo in second remain. Kilbath with that result today goes up to 3rd place. Van der Meer is in 5th with Van Rossum. 4th, sorry, for Van der Meer. Van Rossum in 5th place. Matija Meeks in 6th. Jay Stevens in 7th. Kieran Drayscott does indeed hold on to 8th place. Miguel Silverio in 9th position, and there is Eric Delfant up 3 places from 13th to 10th place. Yeah, an absolute force of nature. Salinas in 11th, Kazmierzik in 12th with Pluderman in 13th, Mitchell Dijkstra in 14th place, and Rafael Swartz finds himself in 15th ahead of Hoffman, Ferreira, Habold, Sarikaya, and Sven Dreyer in 20th. So that is the standing. So at the minute it's Wassner, Paw and Kilbath. Paw does have 5 scoring rounds tonight. It's his first no-show, so that'll go towards his drop round. So still absolutely all to play for up at the top of the table in the Case King Prime Series, and it will be Spa round number 8 next week. That is all we've got time for this evening, though. Thank you again to everyone that has tuned in, all the likes and the subscribes and the thumbs up. Massively appreciated from here, everyone at LFM. Of course, get yourself involved in the racing. You can find yourself in one of the top splits. Lowfuelmotorsport.com. 280,000 drivers taking part. So get yourself on over there and find the race of your dreams on at least on 6 different sims. My name has been John Wright. I'll be back again very soon for some more LFM coverage. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.